So, don't go away because Lisa Kelly is coming back on the Dodo stage. Here she is.
Thank you, Patrick. Sure, a lot of people say on their deathbeds they wish they went to more Dodo modern poets. Right, I'm following Patrick's lead and shamelessly plugging my book, so I thought I'd read one poem from here, but it's also something to do with my deafness. You can spot why I didn't make a good waitress. Waiting at Frinton-on-Sea Golf Club. A brown paper pay packet for waiting on tables at the golf club was not worth the endless knives, forks, spoons and plate setting for middle-aged men who, despite their girth, thought a paw upon my arse had such charm, and a naughty wink, cheeky line in chat, irresistible to a green girl, not smarm, which congealed as quickly as the goose fat in the Sunday roasting pan. But what stuck in the throat more than the chef's claggy cheesecake was the member complaining, "Oh, that man's black. Why's he let on the golf course, for goodness sake?" No, not worth waiting in Frinton-on-Sea, twinned with Jessup County, Mississippi. So this was another job I was rather hopeless at, and my next attempt is I did hearing in the first half, and this is more sort of visual poems. And it was quite a grotty time in my life when the money was bad, the men were worse, and nothing was going right. Life model. I can't look him in the eye because I'm naked. And I can't look down because he's naked. So I look at the circle of people who aren't naked, but are nakedly impatient for me to take my place on the podium so they can cover their naked canvases with charcoal. My skin is back to back with his skin. There's not a cigarette paper between us. And I curl my legs around myself to try and look like the statue of the Little Mermaid and create interesting contours and stare out motionless at the sea of blank faces. And I hope I don't sneeze, and I hope I don't sweat, and I hope I don't secrete, because I'm fish naked. And there's no one to mop me up, and there's no one to dab me down. And this is what it feels like to cease to exist, to be naked and have no one ask, "Are you okay?" To have no one say anything, to have a partner who lies against you naked, who doesn't care what you think or feel, who doesn't know you or want to know you. 4 hours later, clothed and £16 cash in hand richer, I leave to meet my artist boyfriend in the gallery with naked canvases on the walls and guinea pigs like little muffs running around the floor, dodging boots and heels, stopping to nibble carrots and snuggling down in beds of pubic straw. And I think, maybe I'm an artist, or at least a crucial part of the artistic process, like a naked canvas, or a mermaid, or a guinea pig. Maybe I do exist. And maybe one day there will be a picture of me in an attic which will stay young forever, and I feel so confident I answer the exhibitor's question, "What do you do?" with, "I'm a life model." And he replies, "You're a stripper. You strip off for £4 an hour. You're nothing but a strip artist." And my boyfriend, who's in our group, says nothing. His face is a blank canvas. And this is what it feels like to cease to exist, to feel naked and have no one ask, "Are you okay?" To have no one say anything. To have a partner who lies against you naked and doesn't care what you think or feel, who doesn't know you or want to know you. And at that moment, I decide to exist, and I say, "You're nothing but a rip-off artist, dressed in the Emperor's new clothes." And I don't feel naked. I feel like I'm wearing steel cat boots and a breastplate and a leather jacket with studs. I feel like I'm wearing the Arc de Triomphe as a knuckle duster and the Statue of Liberty as headgear. And I think, Forget trying to look like the Little Mermaid, and forget not sneezing or sweating or secreting, and forget the blank canvases on the walls and the blank faces, and forget staying young in an attic, and totally forget the guinea pigs. And forget having a partner who lies against you naked and doesn't care what you think or feel, who doesn't know you or want to know you. This life model can model life. Thank you. So this is a poem where, you know, you sit out having a cup of tea, if you get the time, and just sort of get transfixed by what's going on in the garden, and it's funny where your thoughts go. Window on the garden, and there's an epigraph, Oscar Wilde. Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us. The coal tit is being purposefully epigrammatic, in terse flight from hedge to bike handlebar, and seemingly off, only to be back on the bike briefly. So many false promises of departure, playing with finality like a conifer seed in its nippy beak. It revels in its mastery of reprieve, with flippant swerves. In a black bow tie and wing collar, it deflects each drawn-out ending, a sunflower seed raided from a forgotten hoard. Passerine bird with 3 toes facing forward and 1 backward, able to cling to the vertical without falling out of the picture. You are impossible to frame. This urge to cup you like a soft bollock and squeeze is wrong in a nutshell. But your pithy nature, the impossibility of boiling down spirit into sweetmeat, makes a play of thwarted possession. Agog to count the freckles on your eggs in their nest in a mousehole, to pop one in my mouth and keep it forever far from teeth. So this poem, some of the women among us might have had a mammogram, which is something that I had, and I had it at Barnet Hospital, and we were in the guts of the building waiting to go in, and there's no natural light, but there was this sky ceiling that somebody had painted to give the impression that you know, the clouds were parting, so to speak. I think I actually found it more disturbing than if I'd just been looking at concrete or a grey ceiling. Mammogram. This sky ceiling has been kindly donated by Patricia Madden Cancer Trust. Look up, sister. 6 blue squares, but only 1 is clear as cirrus clouds permanently gather in the other 5. Look at the poster, sister. A man manages colour-coded strings so his gown doesn't gape. Look down, sister. Flip through a torn magazine. See the ads. Breastfeeding is best. How to enhance a small cleavage. Look this nurse straight in the eye, sister. Smile. What are the odds you're next? Attention, sister. All mammography patients, please remove deodorant or talcum powder from the upper half of your body. Look, sister. If you have sensitive breasts, this may hurt. Look up, sister. Outside, a black sky hangs open. The moon impersonates a breast. I'll finish with a sightseeing poem, which I'd never ever want to see again. I took the kids to Paris, and we went to the catacombs, and I had food poisoning. Ossuary. Arrête ici l'empire de l'amour. In the queue for the catacombs, only the cold and cursing the kids for cajoling me into this is keeping the contents of my guts from spilling. Behind, 2 German teenagers cram croissants into their cake holes, and ahead, the undead count out coins for entry into the underworld, one at a tortuous time, down the spiral stairwell we will eventually reach, just as I will eventually retch in my hotel bathroom. For now, I contemplate this world of stone and bone, the colour of maggots, relieved only by green mould on a stacked skull. I know I can spill my guts on paper, not down here, with the crosses and inscriptions, the boring notes about sea levels and Lucian limestone, as long as I keep walking. the putting of one foot in front of another, taking on the pace of prayer. A prayer for escape my mother-in-law didn't share, happy to hear sirens and clasp her class in the shelter of the grave, not just with the skulls, as she said, but with the tibia and the fibula, swapping one lesson in biology for another as the bombs dropped, and created a longer queue for a burial chamber. I am on my way out with the maggots or mould churning in my stomach, and I try and take away a lesson less toxic than last night's takeaway, but the kids are running ahead on their flesh-clad tibia and fibula, and a heart of skulls embedded in a wall is less memento mori, more bad taste, worse than the one in my mouth. So the best I can manage as I make for the exit is better out than in.
Thank you very much, Lisa. More applause for Lisa Kelly, please. From a visit to Paris, back to that man from Croydon.